New York.
Apple.
Hot dogs.
Dollar.
Hollywood.
Democracy.
Freedom. Rock and roll.
Wall Street.
Statue of Liberty.
Los Angeles, California.
McDonald's.
Jeans.
Bubblegum. Video games. Nintendo.
What's so great about America?
Every Saturday night, 7 to 9 p.m., explore American culture and language.
With Master Steve,
Ina MK,
And Hazva Cutie.
tune in to find out about what makes America so great.
The Great American Weekend. Listen exclusively on Radio Van 103.1.
Also, watch us on the Radio Von Facebook page, website, and mobile app.
Hey. Good evening, dear listeners. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in our studio, and it's springtime. Woohoo! For some of you guys, it's just a weekend, but for us, and hopefully for those who have tuned in,
It's the Great
American Weekend. Yes. Hello, Hazva. Hello, Master Steve. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you, Ina?
Feeling springy,
Yeah.
if I can say that.
We had a nice, sunny spring day today out there. It was,
Yeah. Winter has packed and it's leaving with the suitcases.
Well, I don't know about that necessarily. There might be some snow this upcoming week, though.
It could be, but hopefully we'll have the sun all along the way. So tonight we're having our spring episode, and also we're gonna have a guest, Armen Shaverdian. So don't miss this great guitar player, musician.
And he'll be in here to talk with us a little bit about his musical influences, a lot of which are American. So we'll get in some talk about American music and culture there, and he'll also play a song for us.
What was the name of his or the school that he has? What was the name of it?
Armen Shaverdian's Guitar Clinic.
Yeah.
Guitar Clinic.
I'm wondering. I'm gonna ask this question to him.
Why? Why clinic?
Yeah.
Right.
I know the answer.
Stay tuned to find out.
Steve knows everything because he's the master. Okay, guys.
I just do my homework.
So happy spring. For some of you guys, spring is not here yet. Then we'll discuss later why.
Yeah.
Because for Armenians, spring is March 1st, right?
Well, yeah, for all of the talk about the four seasons and spring and all of that kind of stuff, there is actually not one single universally accepted definition of spring and when it starts. So we'll talk about the complexities and details of some of that.
Debate. And
debating spring.
Yeah, debating spring.
It almost sounds like
it's like is spring real? I'm a spring denier.
Does it even exist?
I'm an oxygen denier. I don't know if oxygen exists. I can't see it, so I can't prove it, and I need you to actually make a case against it.
Okay, before coming to our show, I had some people asking around what they think spring is. But before getting to their answers, I have a couple of quotes here. With the coming of spring, I am calm again. And another one, spring is God's way of saying one more time.
What's spring for you, Ina?
Spring for me is resolution.
Ooh, resolution. In what way?
Oh, so you do your resolutions for spring and not for New Year's.
I think I have two periods of having resolutions.
If it doesn't work for New Year's, we can start it over again March 1st.
So actually, my resolution for this spring is to lose weight and to fall in love.
Oh wow, that's the best time to start both of those things.
Yeah.
I think that statistically, perhaps, I think spring.
Maybe
is
one will cause the other.
Yeah, that first quote that you had, with the coming of spring, I am calm again. Spring, calm? I mean,
I think it might have something to do with there's I don't know if it's American adage or if it's something that is a quote from in the UK, but. March goes in like a lion and out like a lamb. Oh, wait. Yes. No, is that April? Oh, wait. I think it's March goes in like a lion and out like a lamb.
In like a lion and out like a lamb.
You
I
ever heard
know
that?
but I don't remember what it's about.
Yeah, it's about the month of March and how it goes.
Should we have Google rescue us?
April showers bring May flowers.
Well, yeah.
And before that, it's March goes in like a lion and out like a lamb.
It is more, okay. In like a lion, out like a lamb.
Yep.
Okay.
And guys, yeah,
that's the
go ahead.
piece. That's the piece that our guest might be speaking about.
I like the.
I hear the peace in your voice right now.
You do, because I can barely hear myself on the microphone here.
So I like
trying to get
Ezra
my-
Pound's got a line in one of his poems, The Wastelands, I think. April is the cruelest month. And it's it's about spring and about.
Why is it cruel?
This is my hypothesis, because I don't know that Ezra Pound quote, but I think that most wars are started in the spring, and so there's a kind of, with this recreation and with creation coming to life in the world, there's also a sense of kind of a violent change that's happening from these branches that we see without many leaves and buds to something that's flowering and green and lush.
Well, come on. The generals and the soldiers have been sitting around all winter, bored stiff, just waiting for someone to say something to piss them off so they can get to work. And
So
work
they
for
can
them is
blossom.
war. So, I mean, it's
not anymore. Now it's all drones with cameras and precision-guided missiles, so you can do it from the comfort of your own fireplace and home.
Yeah.
So
Start a war from your living room.
So can I share with you guys some of the things that people said about spring?
Sure.
So one of the things they said, spring is everything.
That's a platitude.
New breath and colors.
Oh, wait. What do you mean by platitude?
What does that mean?
A platitude is a cliche that has been used to transfer some type of wisdom, but been used so often that it is devoid of meaning anymore. But I like that someone can see everything inside of spring, because you can see everything inside of everything. Another platitude by Armen Shaverdian.
And another thing, there was new life, new page. So it's basically everything about starting new page, new something. So
sounds
why?
like someone's got a grudge.
So why do you think people always try to find new hope in spring?
Me personally, can I tell you what I think it is?
Sure.
I think that there's simultaneously a new energy that's born during springtime, where you see all animals, all nature come to life. And as such, as human beings being part of this entire earth, you see the energy in us awakening as well. And so we walk more, we go out more, there's more sunshine, we're more alive, we feel more alive. So I think that the spring represents a new start in a way that is kind of seeing the world anew again after the same situation with the generals being trapped up inside the winter home. We're all trapped in our winter homes and looking to do what is our passion. And a
Cabin fever.
Yeah, right, exactly. A general's passion is war. Our passion might be to go out and physically move, which is currently one of the things that I'm all about doing.
Maybe winter home is in our brain.
Whoa. You just blew my mind there.
It's all about attitude. Because some people still don't like spring. They say, oh, it's vitamins and I feel weak and I don't want to go out and stuff.
That's true. But I have a friend that is my good friend Miles. He lives in Binghamton, New York. He is allergic to trees. So imagine walking around during the springtime where all trees are blooming and their leaves are opening.
Oh, wait, he's allergic to trees, or he's allergic to tree pollen?
To spring. He's allergic to spring.
The tree. The way he would say it to add more impact was that I'm allergic to trees. But
can't eat them, can't touch them, can't
breathe
walk by them. Yeah, I mean,
can sniff them.
Yeah, allergies are they're like a huge thing. I never had them, thankfully, but I know they
you're
just.
lucky.
I do. So
Yeah.
I feel your friends.
Yeah. You hear that, Miles? Somebody empathizes with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, sometime around April, my sinuses just go nuts with all the pollen and dust and stuff that's in the air.
You know what goes nuts with me? I go nuts with being jealous of other people being more fit than I am. So I see it in springtime. People are like walking around. They wear less clothing. I'm like,
And you feel like you have to get your
I gotta go get
you gotta
my
get your
workout
beach body
on.
ready.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because it's spring. Springtime is associated with like.
Aramasti have such great results that you should be proud of. So
Are you hitting on me? Nina?
no jealousy here. No room for jealousy in spring. Okay, guys, we're here with lots of interesting information, music, and also news and calendar of events coming towards the end of the show. But tune in and don't change your channel. Also, you can watch us live on www.radiovan.fm, also our Facebook official page and our Facebook group, The Great American Weekend Radio Fun.
We are everywhere when we're on the air.
Yes. Oh, I love the rhyme.
An exaggerated voice taking you out back into the commercial world. The Great American Weekend with exaggerated voices.
Stay tuned. I would never live in America.
Why not? Didn't you enjoy your time there?
Yeah, why not?
It was good, but it wasn't great.
Because you didn't know us when you were there.
Join Ina MK, Master Steve, and Hazva QT for a great American experience.
Every Saturday on The Great American Weekend.
Hooey! We're back here with the Great American Weekend, and now we're going to do another exaggerated voice from America. This one's here from down south. We're going to be talking about spring today, y'all. Hey, Master Steve, why don't you tell us about spring?
Aramas, who are you this time?
That's someone from down south that's very excited and probably just got out of a rodeo, maybe was riding a bull.
Howdy, yeah?
Yeah, howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
I should bring my cowboy hat for you next time.
This one would be a more sophisticated southern accent. I have a plantation where I grow peanuts and on a peanut farm, and I do recall that there were springtime blooms before the peanuts would start to grow.
You know, in reality, we have so many guests each time during each episode. 10 in one, or maybe more.
You're talking about my multiple
Hazva.
personalities. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I'm playing the. I'm
There's
intentionally playing
medication for that.
I'm intentionally.
But we don't let him take it because this is just
Because
too
it's
much
so
fun.
much fun.
You know what? I would like to tell you guys that the opportunity to play the fool and the trickster for me is like the greatest honor. The fact that I can put myself out there with such vulnerability. I want to thank you guys sincerely both, because this is the
we
real
love
springtime.
it.
This is the real springtime.
It's
for
a
me.
rebirth
of my multiple personalities.
Okay, great.
Characters.
I'm glad we're allowing you that opportunity.
And I'm so glad that you gave me the opportunity to, Master Steve. Now, if you could, please inform us over here
So we had a survey on our Facebook page.
about springtime.
Yeah, because, when I first got here to Armenia, the whole idea that spring started every year on March 1st was a little odd. It didn't quite make any sense to me that you could put a specific day on when spring starts, especially not a calendar day. But I guess there's a meteorological definition of the seasons. And this definition says that the 3 warmest months of the year are summer, which is typically June, July, and August. So the 3 coldest months are December, January, and February, and they are winter. And we're talking here, of course, about the northern hemisphere. Things are different south of the equator, of course.
That's so northern-centric of you.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like
Isn't
we're
it?
being American-centric here.
Well, I mean, I was just on the other side of the equator for the holidays, and it was just so odd to be. It wasn't Christmas because it was warm and sunny and a little bit rainy. And
Because it was
that's just
spring. It
No, it
wasn't
was- it
Christmas
was
because
summer.
it was.
It wasn't Christmas because it was,
It was summer.
You know, I've never thought
How
about
did
this,
that-
but I've always wanted to visit different countries, but I never had the desire to visit a hemisphere before until right now. I
Yeah.
just want to visit the southern hemisphere.
You haven't?
I have never have.
Oh,
Yeah, never been beyond. Well, I mean, I've gone past the equator in
but not
Ethiopia.
that far.
Yeah, I mean, Ethiopia.
That's
is,
still kind of in the tropics.
it's
isn't
like
it?
right around the Tropic of Cancer or
Yeah.
Capricorn, but not down under.
Yeah. So anyway, so we've got a clear definition for the
Summer.
the 3 warmest months
Right.
of the year. A clear definition for winter,
The solstice.
the 3 coldest
Sure, the solstice.
months, right?
Yes.
And then no, this has nothing to do with the solstices.
I just wanted to say the word
astrologic
solstices. Solstices. Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, we gotta.
It was so much
I
fun.
can't
It
even
was so much
finish
fun.
one definition.
Okay. I'm
And-
listening.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
I'm interrupting you.
The
I'm
months
listening.
in between those are spring and fall. So the months in between winter and summer are spring. And so it just happens that those are March, April, and May. So according to the meteorological definition, yes, March 1st is the beginning of spring.
Yeah, Armenia
What?
won.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
We
I'm
don't.
going to- let
We
me-
don't
I'm-
have a second.
I would like to. Oh, we don't have.
Yeah.
We do though. Right?
Yeah, but we have a nice music break after our advertisement.
Yeah, we're gonna have some commercials, and then we're gonna have the song "Black Hole Sun"
Yeah.
from the great American band Soundgarden.
And we'll be back soon. Stay tuned. This is the Great American Weekend.
And we're still American. We're still American.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend. I've got Hazva QT, Ina MK here with me. I am Master Steve, and we were just listening to the sounds of Soundgarden. Their great song, Black Hole Sun. It has like this kind of trippy video with some surrealist elements to it. Like
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that video from my childhood.
Oh, me
So,
too.
and that-
I was scared.
it's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
cute.
Yes.
Yeah, it's scary.
creepy. So if you've never seen that, get on YouTube and check it out. So a lot of people in Armenia here might know that voice, recognize the
Yeah.
voice from that song. Chris Cornell, who did a song for the Promise soundtrack, became famous with the band Soundgarden. Back in the 90s, they were part of the grunge movement out of Seattle, along with other bands like Nirvana, Alice in Chains. Yeah. So, in Armenia, everybody celebrates spring, the
Yeah.
beginning of spring on March 1st, right? Well, what do we do in America? I mean, if we celebrate spring at all, we do it when? Hazva?
Well,
Spring break.
No, not really.
actually,
No?
you know that
Okay.
that's the cultural celebration,
Yeah.
but the specific scientific celebration of it, rather the way that it's taught to us in schools, is that March 21st at a
Is
specific
it always
time,
March 21st?
20th to 21st.
Yeah.
It's in between. It's the way that I understand it. It's the point in which the Earth's axis aligns with the direction of the sun, such that it's parallel, direct, towards the way the axis tilts away,
Well,
or
it's-
towards, or no, is it halfway? I forget which one it is, but it's
all this astrology and astrophysics, and it's so
oh
confusing.
yeah, no, it's half. It's so like it's directly towards the Earth on its tilt, so
Yeah.
not
It's-
parallel.
It's summer, right? It's summer whenever that hemisphere, the northern or the southern, the top half or the bottom half of the Earth,
Yeah.
it's summer when that hemisphere is closer to the sun. And that happens because of the tilt of the Earth on its axis. Its axis doesn't stand straight up.
Yes.
Okay, at 180 degrees from the, it's tilted. So what happens at a certain point
At what degree
during
is
the
it tilted,
year,
Steve, though? What
at-
degree is it tilted, though?
I forget, it's
I
like
have no idea.
3 or something like that. Google
Just
will have
Google.
to say this again. I'm horrible with numbers. Just
I'm great with
absolutely
Google.
horrible.
Though. I'm great with
So
Google.
what it's not that difficult. Really.
I love Google. I love Google.
And so there's the tilt, and so the what's called the vernal equinox, which is the day when spring starts, according to kind of astrological calculations, is when the tilt, the Earth finds a certain place in its orbit around the sun so that it's tilted in relation to the sun, and the direct rays of the sun that hit the surface of the Earth at 90 degrees, this is boring, isn't it? That angle, that the direct rays actually cross from below the equator to above the equator. And so that doesn't happen on the same day every year. There's a play of about 3 or 4 days. So it's somewhere in the 20th, 23rd of March every year.
So just a paraphrase for all of you out there who are scientifically
It's
challenged like me.
complicated. It's complicated. Just look it up on Google.
I just want to make it easy for you because we did a Google search and found a really easy definition. An equinox, the day of the equinox, basically means daytime and nighttime is approximately the equal duration all over the planet. Approximately. So when day and night are equal throughout the planet, that is an equinox, and it happens once during the spring, now the vernal, and then there's the one during the fall, which is the autumnal one. So
and the word, I mean, that comes from the word equinox too. It breaks down equa, which, what does that mean? It's pretty obvious, equal. Okay, and nox is the word for, it goes back to the Latin word for night. So equal night, meaning that the night is equal to the day, 24 hours in the day, 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. It's not exactly like that,
You're
but it's
so
close.
Smart, Steve.
And
you know,
and
that's one of the things I really appreciate about you.
What's so impressive about this is these sorts of traditions of the vernal equinox in the spring and the autumnal equinox in the fall, they go back at least 2,500 years.
Equinox sounds like a mythological creature to me.
No, that would be Loch Ness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nessie. So that's in so much as Americans pick a day for spring to start, it's on the equinox, the vernal equinox, when the day and night are as close to being equal to each other as they ever really are.
That's some Latin knowledge for your dome out there, you English listeners. The 20 English listeners out there.
21 and a half.
21 and a half.
But I found another definition for spring, and this is apparently, I'm going to read this right from, I think it was Wikipedia where I found this. And this is really interesting to me because it's so local and specific.
Okay,
so the
go for it.
Swedish meteorologists define the beginning of spring as the first occasion on which the average daytime temperature exceeds 0 degrees Celsius for 7 days in a row.
Wow.
So when the average daytime temperature is above freezing for 7 days in a row,
Swedish.
Then it's spring. And what's interesting about that is it varies by location, by latitude, like how far north you are,
Swedish.
and even by altitude. So, you could be 5 miles away from someplace in Sweden, but if you're at a higher elevation, spring might come to you like 2 or 3 weeks later.
I've got a quote here.
You had me at Swedish.
Swedish.
I've got a quote
Swedish
about
meatballs
spring.
or the Swedish chef?
Swedish fish.
The Swedish chef.
Dirty American weekend, dirty.
I've got a quote here, which says, "Spring is nature's way of saying let's party."
Well, kind of.
That's also cute.
Oh, thank you. Hazva QT always finds cute stuff in everything.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Speaking of,
speaking of
one
Lord.
of the things that happens in the spring is.
Can I guess? Can I please guess? Because we wrote this in our programming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easter.
Ready. I think. Oh, let's see. Some kind of telepathic. Let me pray.
Do it, because you have
Okay,
only 1
I
minute
get
left.
It is it's fasting for Lent that allows us to purify our bodies so that by the time it reaches Easter for the Christian worshiping people out there, you are born into a world of warmth and flowers with your body cleansed of any animal product and eating only vegetables and things that are natural. Am I right?
Could you do that?
That's a lot more in depth. I was just gonna say, like Easter is coming.
I tried to fill
Here
it all
comes
because
Peter.
Winter is coming. Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but their winter lasts for like a decade or something, doesn't it? I mean, it lasts for a long time. But
Spring is coming.
And in Armenia, the Great Lent starts.
Bach.
Starts.
What is it? Bach? Bus.
Bach.
Bach.
Yes.
It means like to keep, right? To keep
Yeah,
your-
to keep. Right. This year Lent in Armenia starts right after March 3rd, which is the day of Barekendan holiday.
No, it means to fast.
Yeah, the fast.
Yes. Fasting.
The day of Barekendan, which I will tell later on the show what means Barekendan and what's the philosophy of this holiday.
You know what? That word also reminds me of a fictional character, like some kind of Barekendan. It's like some kind of like
a kind animal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But literally, it means good living.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you the information on this holiday later on the show. And the Lent ends March 4th. No, it starts March 4th and ends on April 21st, Easter.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're about to listen to a song
What song
by
we listen to?
Raconteurs.
The Raconteurs.
Raconteurs, yeah.
And that's a word that means like the storytellers.
Yeah.
Raconteur.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
French.
song is called
The Recounters.
Steady
Steady as She Goes.
as She Goes. Yeah. So stay tuned. And we're going to share more about Armenian traditions, American traditions, music, and of course, let's not forget about our guest who's going to come after 8 o'clock.
Who's
Armen
that?
Shaverdian.
Armen Shaverdian, Guitar Clinic. I can't wait.
Yeah, Guitar Clinic. We're going to have a clinic right here in our cozy studio on Radio 103.1. Stay tuned. Okay, as we mentioned earlier, the Easter and Barekendan, and this is the Great American Weekend, and we're back. Okay.
Hey, what's is Barekendan like a good animal? What is that?
No, it sounds like it, but it actually means good living body. Good. Gentan, gentanutsun, like life, living, yes. And since we mentioned Easter and fasting, let me tell you guys what Barekendan is. The feast of Barekendan is celebrated by the Armenian Apostolic Church on the eve of 50-day Great Lent ahead of Easter.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to I just for some reason wanted to applause Armenian Apostolic Church. Yeah.
Okay, feel free, Aramasjan. Feel free, Hazva Cutie-jan. You're free to do anything.
So what
This
kind of
is
response
free
if I'm going
America.
to say the Roman Catholic Church?
Roman Catholic.
Or how about just,
not that bad.
How about
Not
just
that bad.
Pope Francis? Pope Francis?
For Francis, I like the guy.
Okay, Barekendan, which literally means good living, as I mentioned before, is a revived tradition to commemorate the human bliss, which, as the Bible says, Adam and Eve enjoyed in the Garden of Eden.
Eden.
In Eden, yeah, the heaven. The festival is celebrated with joyful events staged in streets of the city, and people wear masks, costumes, and participate in games, performances. In other words, Barekendan is a party to prepare people for the long Lent.
Do we have this? Because this sounds like a freaking fantastic party that I'm missing out on every year.
Of course, we have
With
it,
the
and
masks
I
and-
was gonna mention it
Fat
at the end of the
Tuesday.
show, but since Hazva is so eager to know about this, we're gonna have today and tomorrow. We're gonna have a Barekendan festival in Barekendan.
Oh
cool.
my god.
So for those of you guys who want to participate in this festivity, go ahead and drive your cars.
Put on your masks.
Yeah, grab your masks and costumes and straight to Barekendan to participate in Barekendan Festival.
Where also there is an astrological observatory out there. So
Yeah.
enjoy the stars and
Thank
the
you.
festival.
Thank you, Hazva, for mentioning this. Also, we would
You're
like to know the traditions of Lenting in America, which is gonna shared by Steve.
Wait, tradition of Lenting
Master Steve.
or like spring trees?
Well, first of all, I mean, Barekendan is like what?
Like what?
Yeah, I mean, what is there in especially New Orleans?
I thought for a second I thought you were like Barekendan is like what?
I'm like, what? No, I'm not.
It's like that's like Master Steve. Your slang is improving.
I'm a bit older than
Master
that.
Steve, we need some of your slang stuff.
I said Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday, yeah, that's like
Mardi
the Mardi
Gras.
Gras.
Hey
Carnival.
Steve. Hey Steve, is there a word,
Carnival
slang word
and-
for spring? Maybe not.
I don't think so.
I think I know one. It's called Yo Mama.
What?
I don't know. That's the best that I could do.
You're
It was like a really just like
throwing that in there.
Okay, guys, forget about this. The black Men in Black thing. Erasing the memory.
So-
please continue watching.
I mean, it's
Continue watching and listening.
in Christian cultures, because spring kind of starts before Lent.
Yeah.
But then Lent is kind of, I mean, Easter is kind of the celebration for spring. I mean, if you think about it, it actually, the crucifixion and the resurrection actually happened in spring. And we know that from the Bible because it lines up with the Passover, which was a Jewish celebration that's actually, set on the calendar according to the lunar cycles and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the death and then the rebirth of Christ, the resurrection of him, fits in with the theme of spring. But then before Lent is supposed to be us preparing ourselves for the death and the resurrection of Christ. And it's mirrored on, or kind of based on, the 40 days that Christ spent in the desert being tempted by the devil, preparing himself before he started his ministry, before he started teaching. Before those 40 days, everybody thought of him as just a normal person. He goes out to the desert, he prepares himself by fasting for 40 days, and then he comes out and he starts his ministry, which, if I remember, was like 3 years before he was arrested and crucified.
I don't know. I forgot
And so
2,000
we've got
years
that.
ago.
Yeah. Yeah, after 2,000 years,
Yeah,
those
just my
things
memory-
just a little
my
fuzzy.
He was there.
We could ask. Well, the master was there.
Yeah, exactly.
From Master and
exactly.
Margarita. Which is a great book. That's an incredible book.
It
Master and
is.
Margarita.
It is.
I'm curious. All this talk about fasting. Have either of you guys ever fasted before? Have you ever done it?
I've done it once, and it's harsh.
How many days?
The big one. 50 days.
No, but you.
But here's a linguistic difference.
Yeah, it's interesting. Not fasting for Lent, but fasting like. Have you actually fasted like only water?
Oh no. It's been like for a couple of days.
2 days.
In my practice.
How about you?
So I don't remember. I mean, I used to fast for Fridays during Lent. Quite a while ago. So for like 24 hours every Friday.
With
during
water
Lent.
only.
Yeah, just with water. But in terms of longer than that, I don't think, maybe once or twice a couple of days or something like that.
I fasted once, 21 days in the deep wilderness of Colorado, and it was kind of like this camp thing. There's somebody there, but you're in the deep wilderness doing a solo, and I wanted to feel what it's like to be as close into the wilderness and as close to fasting as possible. Really,
And you didn't come out from that like believing you had some sort of special ministry and needed to save the world?
I do. And
21
this
days
is why
without
I'm
food.
Here. This is why I'm here.
Superman, super Hazva QT. And speaking of fasting, the time flew by so fast, and we're again on the
That was
eve.
good. That was good.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah,
Your
high five for
school.
that.
Your
Boom.
school. And now it's the advertisement eve.
Sponsors give us money.
Yeah.
Sponsors give us money. We're good programming.
I need a dollar is what I need.
And she sings.
Okay. We do everything we want because this is the Great American Weekend.
Here
And,
on Radio Vaughn.
and it's freedom.
We are free.
Yeah, we are free. Stay tuned, and we'll be back pretty soon. What's the best word in American English?
My all-time favorite word is but I usually refer to it as lovemaking.
Become more fluent in American English and slang.
Yeah, we're fluent. We're getting more and more fluent thanks to these guys sitting here.
And making
here.
a lot more love.
The two English language monsters. So this is the Great American Weekend, and thanks to Irene Arakelan, our faithful listener,
Our number one fan.
Yeah, she always leaves nice comments to our show. Have a nice spring. Nice to
One and only fan.
hear you again. Love you back, Irene. Thanks. And I'd like to ask you guys, do you have a favorite flower?
Do I have a favorite flower?
Yeah.
I like all flowers that are in the garden.
Okay, because personally I love blossomed apricot trees. They look amazing. I love that scene. And it's important to mention that besides granting us with this healthy fruits, apricots are also called spring singing trees. You know why?
Why?
Yeah, I love that. I love the stereo effect because Armenian national instrument duduk is made of apricot trees, and there is a legend about this. So I'm gonna be really quick. The wind was in love with the apricot tree. Okay, and it used to play with its green leaves. Once the king of the wind, the storm, decided to destroy the forest. The wind told the storm he cannot live without his beloved tree. But eventually, angry storm broke the branches of the tree, and a young man who was collecting wood to heat the house took a soft branch of the broken apricot tree and made a body of an instrument. And once he touched it, the soft and sad sounds of the instrument became a touching music, giving a second life to the apricot tree, singing its sad love story. So since then, this instrument is considered to be the soul of the apricot tree, and is called duduk or tiranapoch, which means tiran means apricot, poch means a pipe, apricot pipe. Okay, and also I would like to mention that in 2008, Armenian duduk was listed in the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So this is a story that I would really like to share with you guys. And
That you just shared with us.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love apricot trees which blossom in
I
spring.
love the duduk. It's
Duduk.
such an incredible. I mean, it is. I mean, that story is so appropriate because it does tend to have a very kind of melancholy and sad sound to it.
Yeah. The
But it's also
bittersweet
just
spring
beautiful.
thing.
Yeah.
That story did make me sad.
Aw.
Oh.
Hazva, you're the joyful guy.
Can I?
He's gonna cry now.
No. Let's
Okay,
get
let's
to
move
the
on.
news.
Let's move
Oh,
on.
so many left fields.
So what's been going on in the U.S. this week?
Yeah. So we're going to the news now. So there's a lot.
US or Armenia?
What?
Chingatu.
Chinga
What is
chunga.
that? Can we be connected?
Rock, paper, scissors. We do
Scissors.
rock, paper, scissors to see who
Okay.
goes first.
Who goes
That's
first?
No. You
program.
got it. You got
Armenia,
it. man.
America. Armenia, America.
All right. So
Okay, go.
there's a lot that's going on in the news this week.
But is any of it really worth talking about?
No, I mean, I don't really think any news is really worth talking about, to be really quite frank
Oh,
with
come on.
you.
You
I
were
mean,
all excited about this one before, so come on.
yeah, this
Spill
one
it.
with Michael Cohen is specifically interesting to me because, first of all, I love to see mafioso-style guys that are representatives of other mafioso-type guys go into Congress and start talking to
Like a scene out of The Godfather.
literally a scene out of The Godfather. Is like,
It wasn't
you
that
know,
good.
like his voice too, the way it is like, you know, Donald Trump is probably one of the most dishonest people that I've ever seen in my life. And meanwise, this guy is like,
Here it
obviously,
And this
comes
guy's got-
again.
he's been his
and
right
this guy's got a law degree.
Right, he's got a law degree. That's fine. That's
He's
not about.
he's no longer allowed to practice
That's
law.
fine too. Put that aside. I'm talking about this guy that used to be his right hand man to do all of his dirty work.
No,
goes
he was
out-
his fixer. He was his fixer.
whatever, he's basically making the dirty work happen in one way or another. And by going to Congress, he's basically ratting out his buddy, his friend that used to be his friend, biting the hand that feeds him, basically. And I feel like this entire Godfather-esque picture and scenarios working out where there's like a lonely, almost like Scarface style Donald Trump hidden inside the White House where he's just sitting there on his own with an entire staff that doesn't see what he does. Him like in his underwear, eating a hamburger at night, tweeting half the day, and then listening to, you know, his former lawyer who used to defend him in situations when things got rough and took care of the dirty work, come out in public and basically say that he is just a scam artist and a racist and a bigot. And then in the middle of Congress, having these Republicans who are basically just defending him because of party lines and nothing to do with the Christian conservative morality that they hold so dear, and use a black woman as a token
Bro, I've got,
for
hold
him
on,
not being a racist.
I've got one question for you.
Sure.
But first, I want to stop and say we've been using
And
the
I've
term.
got a question for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Master.
We've been using the term fixer,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
means somebody who goes around and makes problems go away.
Oh, fixer.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you've got a problem, like a scandal is going to break,
Call the fixer.
You call the fixer, and that person takes care of it, makes it disappear.
It's not necessarily that. In film, that is also used in order to actually produce things. So someone would use a fixer in order to go and make sure that agreements are met with places, with people showing up on time. So there's also a fixer with
Okay.
regards to setting up things.
Master T, what
And then
about
also- and then
biting
also-
the
wait.
hand that feeds you?
Oh, well, okay. I think I think it's a reference to like a dog. You know,
Yeah.
You're feeding the dog. It's, you know, you're giving it its food, and it will bite your hand. Which you know,
Right.
after something bites your hand while you're trying to feed it,
Something.
what are the chances? What are the chances that you're gonna feed it again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
like
probably gonna
Michael
turn
Cohen
around
is
and
going to
walk away.
jail, and Donald Trump is still president. But before that, Michael Cohen was his lawyer and Donald Trump's lawyer, and was being fed readily.
I would use the
Let me
term,
quickly read. Let me
I would
quickly
use the term lawyer in a really loose sense when it comes to what Michael Cohen was doing for Trump.
Sure, but I agree with you. But let me just really quickly read the headline.
Let's
So,
hear Hazva reading.
Michael Cohen testifies in court. This is the headline. In an atmosphere of high drama and low tactics, Michael D. Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer, prepared for high explosive public testimony about the president on Wednesday, even as a Republican member of Congress threatened to reveal what he said were Mr. Cohen's extramarital affairs. Mr. Cohen's long-awaited appearance before the House Committee on Oversight and Reform, coming after he spent Tuesday behind closed doors answering questions from the Senate Intelligence Committee, is likely to be among the more revealing and polarizing moments of Trump's presidency.
But did you watch?
I
any
did.
of that?
It was
Yeah.
fantastic. It was such fantastic
It
theater.
was so-
Politics is theater, my friend. This is what I've come to
Life
realize.
is theater.
I thought it was so dull, and
Yes,
I
that's true. Although
I
with
watched it for like an
politics-
hour and a half or 2 hours. I watched it for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. It was so dull. I want my 2 hours back. Really?
I
Yeah.
know. Well, listen, I did not watch. You watched the whole thing?
No, I didn't watch the whole
Oh,
thing.
thank God, dude! Do not
I
do
was
that.
I was doing other
Confess,
things like in the
Steven.
kitchen, and it was
Confess.
on, and I'm glad I didn't sit down
Yeah.
and watch any more of it because there was really nothing there.
Oh, you witnessed it happen while
Yeah.
it was, but
Oh,
you
yeah,
weren't watching
live.
the whole thing. Yeah,
No, no,
I
I
didn't
wa-
do that.
yeah.
I kind of watched the highlights just to get a
Well,
piece.
see, that's why you thought it was interesting because they cut it down into sound bites and take things out of context. So it's like all these little fireworks. But if you're actually sitting down watching it in context as it unfolds,
the reason why I found it interesting was
it's
because it's a
just
New York
dull.
lawyer. It's a New York lawyer that's sitting down there with a
He's
very thick
not a
accent.
lawyer anymore.
but not anymore. But former lawyer, yeah, former lawyer.
Speaking of
So
fireworks.
he was disbarred,
Okay.
which means in order to be a lawyer in the U.S., you not only have to go to law school and graduate, but you also have to pass this exam, and then you are admitted to the bar.
Have you
And
watched
that's like
the movie
having your-
Liar Liar?
Yes, and
Okay.
that's like having your lawyer's license. So because of all this stuff that happens with Michael Cohen, he's now disbarred and he can no longer practice law.
Well, he's
He can no
actually
longer
going
be a
to
lawyer.
jail.
He's going to jail for at least a couple of years.
He's definitely disbarred and cannot practice law, and he's also being imprisoned.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
are you
that's
guys?
the U.S. news.
Are you guys ready for the local news?
I think
So-
I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Think about it.
It just sounds like left field to me. It sounds like left field. Like
I mean, we could
literally
talk
left
about
field.
Cohen for a while longer, I think, but let's not. I've got
International
international U.S. news. We've got the Trump and Kim summit that was in Hanoi, Vietnam. And one of the headlines that I saw was Trump walks on summit. So what I want to start off by doing is explaining that term a little bit. To walk. I mean, of course, you can say, I'm going to walk there, or I'm going to go for a walk. And that, of course, is actually like, walking. But to say, I'm going to walk means I'm going to quit.
Yeah, like
I'm
walk
going
off.
to get up and go away and just leave this.
Walk away, kind of like.
So he walked. He was at the summit and he walked. He just got up and left because things were not going well. And I guess Kim, the head of North Korea, showed up and wanted all of the sanctions that the U.S. have in place on North Korea lifted. He wanted a document signed at that summit saying all of the sanctions, or this is according to the American side. The North Korean side says, we didn't want them all, we just wanted some.
Okay.
And Trump basically said, no, we're not going to lift all the sanctions. And so he canceled the final lunch. He canceled the document signing, the agreement signing, and the joint statement. Yeah. He canceled everything, just got up and walked. So that was interesting because especially it was the day after the Cohen hearing, and a lot of people thought that the Cohen hearing was going to be really damaging to Trump. And they thought that he would go to this summit and just do everything he possibly could to get an agreement to try to save face, to try to make himself look good. And people were actually worried about that he would make a bad deal just to make himself look good.
I don't agree with that commentary.
And he didn't. He walked away because he wasn't getting what he wanted.
I think he actually went there to act as a distraction from the testimony. Even if he walked away with a successful deal,
that doesn't
even
make
if he
sense.
walked away with a successful deal, if he walked away without any deal, all the attention that was on from the world was on Trump and Kim, and all the tension within the United States might have been partially on
but the timing
Cohen
doesn't.
and partially on
the timing
Kim.
doesn't work. The timing doesn't work because the Trump-Kim summit was scheduled more than a month ago. The Cohen testimony was only scheduled about a week ago.
Yeah, what I mean to say is that whether or not that happened, they can force it to happen during a time where it would. I mean, then that doesn't. Then the commentary doesn't work either. What I'm saying is this: it worked. It worked either way to distract if it needed to, and it did. But the guy tried everything. I mean, did you see the way that he gave his hand? He did like a karate chop to give a handshake to
No, I didn't see that.
Kim Jong-il. Yeah, there was a.
Okay.
I don't know if you
Were
noticed.
you there?
I've seen the video.
Okay.
Donald Trump. Have you seen the way that he gives handshakes to people?
Yeah.
This guy is like a handshake master in terms of him being like an improv genius. Each
He has
time it's
taken
different.
trainings.
He takes your hand. Here, give me your hand for a second. He pulls you in.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
scared.
With Kim Jong-il, what he did was
Americans
it was
attack.
Kim Jong-un. Sorry, Kim Jong-un. He basically said, "All right, let's shake hands," and karate chopped the air, and then reached his hand out to go shake his hand. Here, give me your hand, and then he pulls him in every time.
Okay, Hazva QT is giving karate handshakes to
Trump handshakes,
to
Trump
his
handshakes.
colleagues, and we're gonna give a handshake to our commercial break. Stay tuned. This is the Great American Weekend. We'll be back in short.
Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
Adamast, what are you doing?
He's trying not to forget where he came from.
Okay, we all have to remember where we came from, and now we're back from the advertisement to the Great American Weekend and catch some local news right away. So we would like to congratulate the new U.S. ambassador to Armenia in Yerevan. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, the new U.S. appointed ambassador to Armenia, Lynn Tracy, is already in capital city Yerevan. The photos of Tracy's first day at work in this capacity have been posted on Facebook page of the U.S. Embassy in Yerevan. Welcome, Madame Ambassador.
I'm amazed they were able to get a new ambassador after the beginning of the year started with a 35-day government shutdown.
As reported earlier, Lynn Tracy was recently officially sworn in Washington, D.C. to serve as the ambassador of extraordinary and I always have a trouble with this word. I'm sorry. Plenipotentiary. Stephen Master, I need your help.
No, it's not worth it. No, it's not worth it. Just skip it.
Okay, of the United States of America to the Republic of Armenia. Congratulations.
Welcome, Ambassador Lynn.
Welcome to Armenia. And catch this one. Listen to artwork. Thank you, Aramast. I love this title. Recently, co-founder and director general at UCOM, Haik Yes I Am, visited Sergei Parajanov's museum and provided smartphones for the implementation of the museum's audio guide services. Yoo-hoo! I'm personally so excited because this is one of my favorite museums in Armenia.
If you're an English speaker out there and you don't know who Sergei Parajanov is, and you are curious, Sergei Parajanov is one of Armenia's top and most well-known avant-garde filmmakers and collagists and artists, and there's a house museum by his name in Yerevan that features most of his really rare works, some that were even created during his time in prison. And to have an audio tour in multiple languages really takes the burden off of the really very knowledgeable people that are at the museum and gives you an opportunity to experience the work on your own. So if you're in Yerevan, really take your time to go check it out, because an audio tour of this type and this caliber is kind of unprecedented in Yerevan.
Yeah, it's a great practice, and I hope it develops with all of the museums. And also, I'd like to mention that Sergei Parajanov's museum is one of the most visited museums. About 20,000 tourists per year visit this museum. So they had really a trouble having enough guides for translation and giving the information to all of the visitors. So now it's not a problem, and hopefully this museum will keep developing internationally, because since 1991 excuse me, the film director and artist museum has exhibited his creative heritage not only in Yerevan but also more than in 60 countries all over the world. So this is another tool, an opportunity to develop the promotion of this museum. Congratulations and bon voyage.
I can't wait. I'm really excited.
There was something that we missed talking about on our show last week that happened last Sunday.
Oscars.
In America. Yeah, the Oscars. We were delinquent in our duties and didn't talk about the Oscars. So Ina has a little rundown of the winners of some of the big awards, and she has an Armenian connection she'd like to tell us about.
Yeah, but it's a surprise because I'll tell you about it later. So let's go. I've got some highlights because we don't have the whole list.
Highlight it up.
Yeah, let's go. Best Picture winner, Green Book. The Green Book. I watched it personally, and I really love this movie. I really recommend to watch it. Best Director winner, Roma, which is Rome. Alfonso Cuarón, if I pronounce it right.
Yeah, and this was an interesting win because this was, I believe, the first time that Netflix won an Oscar. And so this was a film,
an American company.
Yeah, this was a film that wasn't made or produced by one of the big traditional film companies. It was done by Netflix.
Great. So the next one is best actress winner Olivia Colman, The Favorite. I have watched this one also, and I would really recommend to watch this movie. Best actor winner Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I'm so happy for this guy. He also took. This movie also took 3 Oscars for Best Sound Mixing, Best Sound Editing, and Best Film Editing. So congratulations. And this guy is the first Arab. Okay.
Arab? He's
an Arab?
Middle Eastern?
Yeah.
From which country is he?
I'll check this out later. Okay, best original song winner is "Shallow," A Star Is Born, which is I really like this song. I haven't watched this movie yet. And best animated feature film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Okay.
And now we have to go to a commercial break. And on the other side of the commercial break, we're going to have a song by our upcoming guest who will actually be joining us right after this break. Armen Shaverdian.
Armen, we're waiting for you. We're looking forward to welcome you here. And before the break, I will really, really quickly, if you guys permit, I will tell you something you didn't know about the Green Book movie. The soundtracks are played by Armenian cello player Artyom Manukyan, who is, by the way, the son of our colleague, jazz expert and radio host Armen Manukyan.
So,
okay,
and to clear one thing up really quick,
yeah, sure.
Rami is Egyptian. So
I
just had somebody key in or chime in on my Facebook here and let me know.
Thank you, Google.
We have researchers working for us from home.
Thank you, researchers.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. This is a real support team. Stay tuned, and we're gonna come back with Armen Shaverdian here in our studio.
Hello and welcome to the Great American Weekend. Today,
Steve, who is that?
I think we've been infiltrated by a Russian radio host.
Learn about American politics on the Great American Weekend. We're back in our studio, and we have our guest in our studio. Armen, welcome. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Armen Shaverdian of the Guitar Clinic and New Gray in the house.
Yeah. Yo.
It feels good here. The atmosphere is so hot and everything is so good.
It feels good.
It is spring.
It feels good in the neighborhood.
So since this is the Great American Weekend, and I know, I can hear it just from listening to your music, and I know from talking to you in the past that you have some real American influences. Yeah. So I'd like to start out just by asking you, what sort of influence did American culture and specifically music have on you personally, on your art, and, some specifics, like who are your favorites?
Yeah, with pleasure. First of all, thank you for having me, and I wish this show will go on like God knows, forever.
Oh, thank
and I'll
you.
See you
and thanks for being here.
3 guys loaded with a bunch of information all over the place. So
we do our homework.
Sometimes. Yerpemen.
That's Arma's favorite word. Yerpemen. Yeah.
And about the influences, I think it started with MTV. It started with MTV because I was born in Iran, and it's not a surprise. And we didn't have any internet back then. I was 11, probably 10, 11 years old. And by the chance, we got satellite in our house, and it was forbidden.
Yes.
We're not going to get
breaking the
jailed
law.
right now. Yeah, we're not going to get jailed because now everything is so obvious. And by the chance, I got that channel, MTV, because everybody knew, and they said, find that channel and watch. And the first kind of thing that I saw was that top 10. They got that top 10, pop top 10, which Radiohead was playing.
Oh,
it was pop. It was like, and I'm now thinking Radiohead
what
is
song?
pop.
Yeah, do you remember which song?
I think it was Creep.
Oh, okay. That's their big crossover.
Yeah, and it part of their music videos also shooted from the MTV, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I saw Nirvana, and then God knows, whatever music video. And the first music video that I actually remember is Bon Jovi's "Thank You for Loving Me" with that solo. Oh my God, that vibration on the guitar in 11. I'm playing piano, and I said, "Mom, you know what? I don't want piano. I want guitar." And I think 1 week later, or maybe I don't know, 1 month later, at night, everybody was asleep. I woke up and I turned on the TV, and it was Nirvana's Unplugged. Can you imagine?
Oh wow!
What year was that?
You're a lucky man.
90, 99, 98.
Okay.
Probably. I'm not.
So it was a while already. It was a while already after he
Yeah.
committed suicide.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the influences are so much, but I will mention specifically, like before my 18, it will be Bon Jovi, it will be Limp Bizkit, very, very, different styles. And after that, after 18, my first and the best idol that I had, which I'm familiar from 2002, is Corey Taylor from Stone Sour.
Okay.
One of my idols.
Well, and he's what other band was he in? Stone Sour.
He didn't have band.
Okay.
And then he was in Stone Sour from 2000, I think.
Okay.
And then he got signed up for Slipknot later.
Yeah.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
So Armenjan, are you ready to perform?
Yeah, I should.
And
I didn't have to mention that early. Yeah, of course.
Because he's here with his guitar. Okay, you guys watching our live broadcast, you see the guitar over there.
Yeah,
so
they can see the guitar.
Yeah.
Let me hide my phone too. These days, you have to hide your phone.
Oh, yeah.
So, obviously, playing Corey Taylor is a pleasure for me, and I don't do covers that much, but I do covers of great artists. In my opinion, they're great artists, and if you let me, I'll play Butter.
Okay,
we're asking you to do that.
Which is the one that you...
Yeah, we shared that one for our listeners out there. If you're unfamiliar with this song, we shared it on our Facebook page a few days ago.
The group, yeah.
As, to kind of give you a hint of what was coming, because now
we love to tease. We love to tease our
rendition of it.
Before I got on the air, I was practicing the lyrics, so I wouldn't mess it up.
Did you do your homework?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, exclusively for Radio Van Armen Shaverdian.
Kind of.
Thank you so much, Armen.
Thank you.
That is a real treat.
That was beautiful.
It's a real treat.
Thank you.
Oh my, thank you. What was our questions? I forgot everything.
You lost your questions.
Yeah, I lost everything.
That's the energy of music, which I'm in love with, and you don't need to talk.
We got the answers to all our questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Armen.
I hearing you play, one question did come to my mind, is that who would be your favorite acoustic performer?
Oh, great question. If I don't specifically mention an American musician, the first guy who I saw him playing an acoustic guitar was Eric Clapton, to be honest. And his Tears in Heaven was one of the first songs that actually I played without knowing notes on the guitar. But there are so many. But I wanna see Corey Taylor does acoustic tours in Europe and America, only acoustic by himself. He's also a good acoustic guitar player. But Bon Jovi's a guitar player. I don't remember.
Richie Sambora.
Richie Sambora, yeah. He is perfect. And right now I don't remember. If I remember, I'll mention. But yeah.
Armenjan, since our theme of the day is spring, could you share with us what is spring to you? Do you have special inspirations during any season of the year? Is there a season that you get inspired with?
Definitely it's not spring.
Okay, what is it then?
I mean, spring is good because we ended up the winter thing, which is not my style. Okay. Mine is autumn, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts from September.
Melancholy.
I get happy when summer ends because that's when my muse comes, and but for the spring, I'm really positive about spring. everything gets better, you know. You get rid of all the disease, viruses, and the positivity comes in. Actually, I get a little bit active with my projects because during winter I just collect. I just collect.
You're hibernating, you're gestating, you're creating things.
Yeah, and then
you're planning things, and now you're creating. But speaking of your projects,
just like a bear who sleeps in winter and eats the honey to collect energy,
and dreams about everything he's going to do in the spring and summer.
Yeah.
So what projects do you have going on now?
I shooted a music video, but haven't released yet. The song is called "Ocean of Love." It's actually a continuous song about my wife. I had a song in Armenian, Kona, yours, which was not for her, and then everything finished there, and then Ocean of Love started when she came to my life. So that song should be released.
So you got rid of the sea and the ocean comes in.
Yeah, the Ocean of Love, and says, if you let me perform that one,
sure.
I'll show you the one part of it. It says, and I wanna love and love and love and love again. I feel all the pain and all the pain. Feel the joy again. I wanna love and love and love and love again. Feel all the pain and all the pain. Feel the joy again and again. Again. With you, my love. I don't write love songs, but this one was like really into.
Keep going.
Yeah. So it's more atmospheric and full of, you know, reverb guitars, delays, and stuff. I really like the sound.
So that's a super stripped down version of it.
This is like,
so simple.
So simple, yeah.
And you've built it up into something, I mean...
I built an atmosphere that is close to the ocean, and the music video has also got some sea. We don't have ocean, unfortunately.
So I've been lucky enough to hear some of the song.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of the video.
Yeah,
but which leads me into, I mean, you know, you kind of build this soundscape around something that you wrote, which you playing it is pretty simple.
It was an acoustic song with just vocal, and then I made, basically that's my approach. I write a song with an acoustic guitar, or maybe it will be a piano, and just made the atmosphere that it tells me.
And there is a theory that we all come from the ocean, so I guess it's your ocean of love that we all come from.
I get energy from ocean. I mean the sea or horizon. That's pictured in the video too.
Where did you put together that song?
Where I put it together? What do you mean?
Where do you do your work?
I do it in my studio, Guitar Clinic studio, which basically it's my own project studio. But very recently, I mean, it's been 4 years that I'm also doing for other artists like Bambi, Rosenthal, God knows, a lot of rock and pop rock musicians. So Guitar Clinic Studio is the place where I produce my own song.
And why clinic? Please explain this word.
It got two of the best worlds.
Cures the souls of people, or
Stephen knows, I think, and Armas also knows that every guitarist in America that does teaching or whatever, they say, for example, Armen Shaverdian's guitar kit means Armen he's a clinician who teaches how to play and whatever about guitar. And also I'm a doctor. I'm a dentist and graduated from Medical University here. So I said clinic goes with both sides, you know.
Cleaning the souls.
Yeah, that's the reason I named it Guitar Clinic.
Oh, thank you.
I respect very much someone who might have started their, because these types of stories for me are really inspiring. Someone who started their life down one path and decided that they wanted to follow their passion in a way that would transform their life and that the people around them. And what I see, and I guess what you do on an everyday basis, is having students who come in and learn what it's like to play multiple instruments, to know what recording music sounds like, to know what the studio environment is like, which it's kind of a rarity actually in Armenia to have such an intensive educational experience for young people. What is it for you that made you decide to go from one direction in life, which is down the medical path, and decide on continuing your passion in music and not only doing your own independent artistry, but also working in a way to contribute to a community? What was it that inspired you to make that decision?
A very good question. It happened automatically. I mean, I didn't plan it, but I started teaching by a chance. Someone wrote me on the Facebook that, would you teach my son? And I said yes. And I was teaching back then in Iran, and I really like giving information. If I have something, I'm not jealous of giving. I don't have envy about it. So I said, I saw that one student is turning to 2, and blah, blah, and it gets to 10 and whatever. And I said, okay, I need a place to collect them all because I couldn't go to all these places and teach. So basically, that was the start of my teaching. And how I turned, the reason that I turned from medical to, I never turned. I was in the music path, and medical path was on my way, kind of.
Right.
You know, it was a new thing. But I was always a musician. When I grew up, I always played. So I said, one day I said, this is not a lifestyle. Clinic is not my thing, to go and cure people and stuff like that. So I was 26 years old when I decided I'm going with music. And my band, the Beautify Project, helped me in this because we toured a lot, we played in studios a lot, and I found myself. I basically found myself and what I'm happy doing. That's why I started doing this, and I'm really happy. And my platform that I have, Guitar Clinic Studio, which also Stephen helps me with the sound too. I mean, we're building a team. We got Datev now, who's helping us as well. We got my friend Iman. We're a team of doing live shows.
I can help you with lyrics. Hey.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm ready.
I think they already got someone.
Yeah. No, I mean, anytime.
He does his own.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean,
but cooperation is always welcome.
The platform works like this. Anytime that someone comes in, and I said, after 6 months, this is your path. You're gonna step on the stage and see if this is what you want to do. And I'm not talking about 9 to 12 years old. It's fun for them. But when you're 16, 15, 17, they might be in a situation where they can also find themselves a little bit earlier than I did.
Armen, a doctor by choice, musician by destiny. Can we ask you, please, to play something else or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. This will be because we have 3 more minutes to go.
3 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please go ahead and.
Did you have a question? Because I'll play short.
No. I have plenty of questions, but
got plenty.
Wait, actually, you're our guest. So, would you rather play or would you rather speak?
You said. I mean, I can play. Steven knows me.
Play.
He knows that whenever he comes to the studio, you talk a lot. It's like 2 hours.
Okay.
Play, man, play.
Okay, I'll just play a short version of my song. It's been a while I haven't performed it, so it's an acoustic version of Circling the Sun.
Which is the song that we shared on our Facebook page on Monday.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. So, we'll
sharing is caring. Go for it.
Yeah, let me remember. Oh, yeah. My soul is not a canvas you like to paint on it. You would take it all when it come with it. My emotions are your tool. You would throw it away. You would never care to fight. And I'm circling the sun. My feelings are gone. I leave it all behind. Looking for the other side. Yeah. you, you were my friend. Just simply go away. Go away. You think you choose the right way. The dirty way is the way I cannot take this. We cannot take no more desire. I'm circling in the sun. My feelings are gone. I leave it all behind, looking for the other side.
Thank you. Bravo, 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 Armen
Thank you so much,
Shaverdian.
Armen.
Unfortunately,
having me.
we're done. Our time is
Your time
Our
is-
time with you is up. But thank you so much
so
for coming.
fast.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for
And
Thank you,
we'll
Armen.
recommend our listeners to just catch the video of this episode because it's really emotional, really springy, and love is in the air for sure. This is the Great American Weekend. Stay tuned. We're here for another 5 minutes.
Hey, what kind of fixins do you like on your hot dog?
Fixins?
Yeah, relish, onions, mustard, ketchup, condiments.
Conda?
No, not that.
Oh, fixins. I love chili dogs.
Learn about American cuisine on the Great American Weekend.
And we're back, and we have comments by Lucy Pirpian, who says, thank you guys for the nice evening you give every Saturday, and thanks for inviting such nice people. Thank you, Lucy. We're happy to do this.
Thanks, Luce.
Yeah, thank you, Lucy.
Armen Shaverdian says, thank you for having me. Thank you,
It was
Armen.
our pleasure.
It was our pleasure, and we're gonna share a little bit with the upcoming events because we have a little time left, and time flies as always. This was the Great American Weekend and our episode on spring, and here catch some local events going on this upcoming week. So music, there is a premiere at Armen Shaverdian Music Hall. Make sure you don't miss this one because, and I want to visit this one too because I've heard a lot of good things about it. The Barber of Seville opera by Rossini.
It's an incredible
Yeah,
piece.
Hover National Chamber Choir is going to be the part of this opera,
Wonderful.
by the way, and also it is an international project as well because international singers are involved, and the costume person is also there coming from abroad. So this is gonna be an exciting show. March 7th at Armen Shaverdian Concert Hall, the honored troupe Barekendan is going to perform a dancing show. So for those of you guys who love local folk dancing, go ahead and don't miss this one. March 8th, there is a Women's Day, of course, Women's Day at Project and Project 12 with DJ Beatman at Club 12. March 9th, Arto Tunçboyacan, Vahagan Hayrapetyan, and David Geodakian will be performing at the Kiss Aficionados private club with jazz and folk program starting at 9.
So,
I'm gonna go see
this
that.
is this is a great show. I saw those three play together a couple of weeks ago. Great stuff.
Master Steve recommends. Do not miss this one. So theaters, March 9th, there is the Beauty and the Beast for kids performance. So grab your kids, go ahead and enjoy this musical performance in the Theater of Young Spectators. Movies you can watch in English at Kino Park Yerevan Mall, February 1 through 6th. There is still A Little Battle Angel on at 12:35, The Vice 2:20 p.m., How to Train Your Dragon animation at 3. At 3:30, The Mule at 11:05 p.m. and Happy Death Day to You 5:10. I wonder what this is.
I am intrigued.
Yeah, there is a big party going on at the High Film Studio starting at 9 p.m. DJ Dale, DJ Guess, and DJ Super Cooks are going to play some good music. Yeah,
Super Cooks.
Super Cooks. Okay, so Super Cooks.
Cooking up some super
the
beats.
party people join this one. And there is a festival, as I mentioned before, Barekendan Festival. You all know what this is, and if you missed this show, just start from the beginning and get this information about national holidays. So March 2 to 3, today and tomorrow at Burakan Barekendan Festival. Also, Yerevan Armenian Corners shares some events with us. March 1 at 4 p.m. there is a debate club hosting YAC volunteer Jim Daly with the topic, is a gender balanced world important? Okay, and every Friday at 3 p.m. there is a teenage club to improve English language skills and learn more about American culture and lifestyle. So, and for more information, you can always contact Yerevan American Corner at 561383.
Is there an adult English club?
Adult?
Yeah, so that people who don't really speak English very well or don't pronounce it very well can go and actually have an opportunity to practice it with people?
We can ask the American Corner office and maybe request.
I'm just curious. I was just curious because I'm sure there are many people out there that are kind of apprehensive about their ability to pronounce words.
Adamas, do you want to send me to this club?
Well, anyway, before that goes any further.
I didn't say that.
Oh, wait. This is all we've got for you this week. Thank you for joining us. If you didn't catch the whole show, you can pick it up Monday night on the Radio Van website, Facebook page. We'll share it on our Facebook page
and application
and the Radio Van app. Yeah. So thank you for joining us this week.
We enjoyed this show. It was
the Great
cool.
American Weekend on Radio Van.
And much love, liberty, and justice like America wants to be to you all.
We'll see you next week. And part of what we'll be talking about next week is Women's History Month.
Women. And also do not forget that spring is here. The Great American Weekend says...
Spring has sprung, as we say in America.
The Great American Weekend says bye-bye and have a great rest of the weekend.